Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Got new lights for the fridge because they broke after like 2 weeks. Speaking of 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks since I had an imperial barrel-aged beer from Boulevard. Well, we're having another one tonight. This one's called Plaid Habit, Canadian whiskey barrel-aged imperial brown ale, limited release 2024. It's 11.9 ABV. Looks like it was bottled in February of this year. Yeah. So, pour into the stout glass. I feel like I haven't used this in a while. And it's a pretty standard, brownish, reddish mahogany coming out of the bottle. Even in the glass, it's still like that kind of blood red, dark brown. It's not really black. Then it is a brown ale, not a stout. And get a little bit of light brown foam on there, and it has dissipated. But if I swirl this up, might be able to get a little bit back here. I can also see the alcohol legs on the glass. Well, I will say this one is extremely fruity, which is kind of odd for a brown ale. I think most of that is probably coming from, well, I don't know if it'd be coming from the barrel, but yeah, it's kind of like berries, red fruits, black currants. Obviously, the whiskey character, so I can actually smell, whiskey. I can smell barrel. I smell, it's very woody, kind of vanilla. Very tarry, which I think is just a word they use for like black currants. But usually brown ales are like very like Snickers bars, where they should be like chocolate, caramel, and nuts. I'm really not getting that on this one. To me, it smells more like imperial stout, just like without any roasty quality. So let's see how it tastes. Cheers. I will say it does taste pretty much exactly like it smells. Very fruity. Very rich. It's kind of like an imperial stout minus the roasty quality. I get like no coffee on here, no roasted, nothing burnt or anything like that. I think that sweetness is just coming from the whiskey barrel character, and or just like whatever was residual from the whatever spirit was in there. I will say it does have like a nice kind of. I mean, I'm not like such a whiskey connoisseur that I can like tell. Canadian whiskey from bourbon, from Tennessee whiskey, from Scotch, or at least not off the barrel character. Yeah, this one's, I would say it's like quite fruity. I went into this thinking it was going to be, like super confectionery, like just straight up like, toffee, caramel, treacle, something like that, but it's really not. So, I mean, it kind of fails as an imperial brown ale, but it works really well as a bourbon barrel-aged imperial brown ale. Yeah, I'm just getting lots of cherry on this one. It's almost like cherry puree. Definitely black currants. It has like a little bit of like tartness to it. Almost a little bit of like kind of blackberry, or like even raspberry. I don't think I would say blueberry. Like I said, kind of like that tartness. Raspberry and blueberry quite tart on the berries. Whereas blueberry and strawberry are like more sweet berries. Yeah, and like the whiskey character adds a, I don't know if I would say smoky, but it's definitely like this kind of earthy sensation. Yeah, this one's very fruity. I actually get a tiny little bit of banana in there as well. Yeah, so this one's nice and sweet. I will say, like, I probably could look that up. I will, since we're this far into the show, I will look this up. I just want to. All right, I'm back. I just Googled the beer. Here's the official listing. Born a double mash imperial brown ale that matured for 18 months in freshly drained 10-year Canadian rye whiskey barrels, the beer features checkered notes of rich vanilla, charred oak, warming whiskey, and spicy rye. I'm really not getting spicy rye. With a lingering boozy sweetness and round resonant flavor, Plaid Habit clearly earns its name. It's 11.9 ABV. We knew that. Only 13 IBUs. Wow. That's really low, especially considering like how rich and sweet the beer is. I will say, like, as a, a really strong beer that's whiskey barrel aged. It is very tasty. To me, it's a little basic. And also, I'm not crazy about the mouthfeel in this one. It's surprisingly not thick. Yeah, I would probably go with medium to 2 medium full tops. I think the alcohol maybe like thinned it out a little. Carbonation is pretty low. I don't know if you guys can see just by looking at it. Kind of looks like a Cabernet or something in the glass there. I mean, at least you get a little bit of legs. By the way, speaking of the alcohol, 11.9. That, I will say, that was like really clean, really smooth, really gentle. Not that 11.9 is super strong, especially since I guess kind of like Bourbon County set the new bar, because like Bourbon County is like so readily available now, and like that's usually 13-14% ABV. This 11.9 is like really smooth. I get like only like a little bit of alcohol warmth on this one. Maybe like, you know, somebody who's not like a you know, used to drinking beers like this might burn them, but to me this is, I'm just sucking this right. I feel like I could throw back another one right now. Like this is, it's not going to my head or anything. How to score the Plaid Habit? I will say, like, it is tasty. I like it. The beer judge in me is like really, you know, kind of critical of it. The beer drinker in me is like, hey, this is pretty good. This is nowhere near as good as the Proper Pour or like the 5-barrel or the, you know, some of the other imperial barrel aged beers that Boulevard has done. But this one's pretty good. I'm gonna say, I'm thinking like 8 out of 10. I think that's fair. To me, it doesn't really live up to its labeling as an imperial brown ale, but as a whiskey barrel aged, really strong beer. It's pretty tasty and, you know, it's pretty easy to drink. I prefer like a little bit more mouthfeel, but otherwise, yeah, I like the easy drinkability considering the strong potency. So, man, I am really rambling. So if you watch all the way in, especially for this video, you're extra awesome. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Whiskey Wednesday. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.